Oh man, not another day like last Tuesday.
Tuesday, Newsday.
Welcome to today's Tuesday Newsday, where our goal is to determine two or more central ideas of a text and analyze their development over the course of that text, including how they interact and build on one another. The scale here listed below is what I want you to keep an eye on throughout this lesson as you read the article and answer the questions, because you will also be asked to rate yourself according to this scale once the lesson is over. If you're at a 4, if you place yourself at a 4 at the end of the lesson, that means that you can identify the central idea or ideas. You can point to the evidence that the author uses to prove his or her point and how those ideas build on one another. If you place yourself at a 3, that means that you can identify the central idea and the evidence that the author uses to prove his or her point. If you're at a 2, that means that you can identify the central idea, but you're missing some of that evidence that goes along with being able to point out the central idea. It's kind of like in math where you have to show your work. Pointing out that evidence matters. It shows me where you are able to go to find that central idea. And a 1 means that you are unsure of how to find the central idea. Please be honest with your rating. It helps me to organize my lessons in such a way that points out and helps to build these skills. And so getting to a 3 is the ultimate goal by the end of the year. If everyone's at a 3 by the end of the year, I think that is a success. But again, honesty is the best policy here. So if you're at a 1 or a 2, please tell me so that I can continue to work to improve my own ability to point out what matters when it comes to identifying the central idea of a text.
It's always good to dream big, right? And tonight, someone could strike it rich.
Tonight's Powerball is worth $1 billion. The odds of winning, of course, are against us. But what if lightning were to strike? What if you were the lucky one? What should you do?
We sat down with a wealth manager to find out. The odds of winning the Powerball, well, let's just say you have a better chance of...
The odds of getting struck by lightning are a little over 1 in a million. Winning the lottery, 1 in almost 300 million.
However, the Valley has been lucky lately with the big jackpots. A $400 million ticket was purchased at this Gilbert QT back in April. So, what if you do win the second largest Powerball in history? Lane Martinson with Martinson Wealth Management says make photocopies of the ticket and keep it safe in a safety deposit box at a bank and keep quiet.
You're going to need a good accounting firm. You're going to want to establish a good law firm. You're going to want to set up the right type of a trust. And you're going to want a good investment management firm as well.
There are 2 options when receiving the jackpot, annuity or the lump sum. According to USAMega.com, if you take the annual payment after state and federal taxes, you'll receive $586 million after 30 payments worth over an average of $19 million a year. If you go with a lump sum, you'll only receive just over $290 million of the $1 billion jackpot. Taxes will be huge. So, which do you pick? A good team of professionals will help you decide what's in your best interest. You can be patient. According to the Arizona Lottery, you have 180 days to claim your prize. Martinson says the winner's life will change, but it's still important to focus on what's really important.
Happiness and having purpose in life and having goals and things you're working towards is important.
And sharing with others.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sharing a lot.
Today's lesson is about the Powerball. It's near the highest, if not the single highest, that it has ever been. Last night's drawing was $1.9 billion. After state and federal taxes, the winner would receive roughly 2/3 of that total. Now, we all wish we could win the lottery. We fantasize about what we'd buy and how it would change our lives. Today's articles center around just that. Is it or is it not good to win the lottery? But first, Article 1 addresses more information about last night's drawing specifically. So here are your article titles for today. So as you saw on the screen before this, you have a to-do list for today's lesson. First, let's get each article open in a new tab and read each one. They are listed at the right. And now that you've had a chance to read each article, let's write the first sentence of each article now. And the last sentence of each article now. All right, on to summarizing. We summarize in 12 words and we summarize in 32 words. Here's where I'm going to ask you to really make some specific brain moves that show your true understanding and your true ability to sort of identify what that main point is. I want one 12-word summary to synthesize all 3 articles. So where we had, one sentence, we identified one sentence from each article. Now I want one summary that brings together the ideas in all 3 articles. And now I want a 32-word summary that synthesizes all 3 articles. Just one summary that brings together the ideas in all 3 articles. And so before we get to the respond to the quote portion of the lesson, I'd like you to write about what you think the main idea of each article is. So we've summarized and we've done first and last sentences. Now I want you to give me an idea of what you think the main point in each article is. So write the main idea of the first article now. And the second article now. And the third article now. All right, and so now we're on to the respond to the quote portion of the lesson. On the screen is a quote from Article 1. Why does this quote support the author's main point? And now on the screen is a quote from Article 2. Why does this quote support the author's main point? And finally, number 3. Why does this quote that is on the screen currently support the author's main point? So you gave me an idea as to what you thought the main idea of each article was. After reading this respond to the quote section of the lesson, would you say that you were correct in your supposition of what the main point in each article was? Or would you maybe change your thoughts? So give me a yes or a no. Were you correct in your initial assumption of what the main idea was? And whether you answered yes or no, explain why the quotes either affirmed your thoughts or why something was added maybe that changed your mind and you want to change your idea to what the main point of each article is. If there's something that stood out to you that says, I didn't think about that in, any one of the given 3 articles, and you would like to change your answer, please write about that at the right now. So we just have 2 more tasks. Find me another article that supports one of the positions, whether it's the benefits to the quality of life or how winning diminishes the quality of life. So when you win the lottery, obviously we read about how it benefits your quality of life potentially, or it diminishes your quality of life. I would like you to find another article that supports one of those positions, and 1, provide the link, and 2, add one more piece of information that the articles that I gave you didn't have, that they didn't add. So you're adding to this conversation. And lastly, let's take a look at the learning scale. It is on the screen. Determine 2 or more central ideas of a text and analyze their development over the course of that text, including how they interact and build on one another. If you are at a 4, the skills are listed there. If you're at a 3, skills are listed there with just a little bit, less. You're able to accomplish a little bit less than if you're at a 4. If you're at a 2 or a 1, those are also listed there. Again, the goal is to get to a 3. But again, the most important thing here is honesty. If you're at a 2, I can work on helping you get to that 3. But if you say you're at a 3 and I can tell by your answers that you're not at a 3, then we got to figure out where the disconnect is. But if you can tell me that you're at a 2 or a 1 and why you're at a 2 or a 1, I can help you get to that 3. Thank you, and completing this lesson has earned you your unit for today.